Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. So we are continuing to read the book The Living Name by Sachinandana Swami Maharaj, and we are right now in page 63. Okay. A wonderful example of this is Pingala, a prostitute who becomes inspired with a spiritual insight while waiting at the town gate for her next customer. Disillusioned with her material attachments, she prays ardently. Santam Samipe Ramanamrati Pradam Vitta Pradam Nityam Imam Vihaya Akamadam Dukha Bhayadi Shoka Moha Pradam Ducham Aham Bhajena. I'm such a fool that I have given up the service of that person who, being eternally situated within my heart, is actually most dear to me. The most dear one is the Lord of the universe who bestows real love and happiness and is the source of all prosperity. Although he is in my own heart, I have completely neglected him. Instead, I have ignorantly served insignificant men who can never satisfy my real desires and who have simply brought me unhappiness, fear, anxiety, lamentation, and illusion. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 11.8.31. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments on this verse, verbalizing Pingala's thoughts. The Lord resides in my heart. He is the actual enjoyer. He loves and accepts love. Why should I not give my love to him? And why would he not give his love to me? After the former prostitute came to this understanding, she became peaceful, relieved, and happy. She left the gate and her trade forever. Lost in the name. I still remember an extraordinary gift Krishna offered me that sparked my own awareness of chanting in the divine relationship. It happened while I was on pilgrimage to the source of the river Ganga. I was walking alone on a beautiful narrow path when all of a sudden the afternoon wind picked up. First a soft breeze, then a stronger bluster, until finally a great storm was underway. It was strong enough to blow me off course, so I took shelter behind a rock to wait out the storm. I quietly chanted there until something unexpected caught my attention. From where I sat, I could look down into the valley with attractive birch trees. Some distance away, where the storm did not reach, I saw a long-haired, long-bearded sadhu sitting on a rock. He couldn't see me up on the mountain path, but I could see his face. From his tilak mark, it was clear he was a Ram Bhakta. Like me, he was alone and also chanting on his Japamala. I couldn't make out the mantra he chanted due to crashing winds, but I felt I could hear his heart. His face was turned towards the Ganga, and he was crying. His tears were not ordinary, they were beautiful tears of God consciousness. He was lost in the names of his beloved Lord. Still today, when I remember the scene, I think that about how the sadhu was someone who truly chanted with Sambandha. He didn't need anyone or anything, only Lord Rama. His tears of ecstasy revealed that he found Lord Rama in his holy name. The sadhu was alone, but in the best of company. Recounting this Rama Sambandha also reminds me of something a Bengali contemporary shared about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They were neighbors, and he used to hear Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur chant in the garden early in the mornings. The neighbor remembered that the Thakur chanted loudly and pronounced as if he was calling for Krishna with a special feeling. This is just as Srila Prabhupada taught us, to chant like a child who calls for his mother, being alone but in the best of company. The three examples, the sadhu in the mountain, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his garden chair, and Srila Prabhupada's instruction to chant like a child calling mother, all depict this principle of chanting in awareness of our relationship with Krishna, being alone but in the best of company. Many devotees arriving at this awareness have experienced a substantial transformation. Once we learn to chant with this higher connection, we can bring a little fragrance from the Krishna consciousness world into the material world and a relationship here. It is akin to the noble lady who returns from a perfumery and arrests everyone's attention with the fragrance she carries from there. Bring the scent of Krishna into this world. If you turn to other relationships first and keep ignoring your most important friend, you won't actually be a true friend to anyone. Your friendship will be only skin deep, a product of your superficial persona in this world. Friendships among masked people on the basis of the disguises lack the depth that satisfies the self. The real need of the soul is always to find that one relationship. Convinced by the experience, in order to chant with that higher connection, you may need to experiment and see what works best for you. One simple suggestion to create sambandha: sit before your deities or picture them in your mind when you chant. Look at them with the understanding that you belong to them. No need to make a big mental effort. Just sit and chant before them. Focus and see what happens. If you do this and connect, you will experience a distinct improvement that starkly contrasts to when your mind is set to its default mode and goes all over the place. It is as different as grasping as the shadow of a meal versus eating an actual delicious meal. Srila Prabhupada writes in this connection, the need of the spiritual soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 1-28 purport. The seed of Krishna consciousness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an apt analogy. Just 1 second. Is that a different thing? No, that's the last paragraph. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an apt analogy for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. He said the devotee who should become a gardener who takes a seed, places it in fertile ground, and then waters it so it can grow into a beautiful flower-bearing creeper. Over time, the creeper will grow so tall that ultimately it pierces the layers of this material world, reaches up to the divine abode of Goloka Vrindavan, and coils itself around Krishna's soft lotus feet for eternal shelter. In this analogy, the seed of bhakti is like a chickpea with two distinct sides. One, knowledge of Bhagwan, Atma, and Maya, which is Sambandha Jnana, and two, knowledge of the process of Bhakti Yoga, Abhideya Jnana. This seed must be planted in the Antakarana, or the inner self, also known as the mind or subtle body, which has 4 levels: Mana, the reactive mind; Buddhi, the reflective mind; Chitta, the subconscious mind; and Ahankar, the feeling of identity. The seed must be sown deep inside so that you internalize who Krishna is, what Atma is, and Maya is. You need to understand, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. This seed of bhakti must be planted so deep in your understanding that it reaches even the unconscious level. Then no storm can wither or destroy it. You will be fixed in the midst of every difficulty. But if you don't place that seed deep enough, then you must lose it, or the birds of material desire will devour it. And remember, the mind is meant to be your servant. You are supposed to use your mind and not allow your mind to use you. All too often, our mind tells us what to do. The instrument has made an instrument of us. This is a scandal. Therefore, plant the seed of bhakti deep in your mana, buddhi, chitta, and into your ahankara. Guard it closely. Nurture it deep within you and remain mindful of it. Let it strengthen you and become a part of you. Then you can truly chant. Otherwise, your practice will remain an imitation of bhakti, which only reminds you of the real thing and nothing. Just as the shadow of an apple reminds you of an apple but cannot nourish you. Very beautiful, Hare Krishna. So this really, the focus is here on sambandha. Having that eternal relationship, reminding us of that relationship with Krishna. And the practical tips Maharaj has given is that sitting in front of the deities or the picture, and really he's saying don't even do anything, don't go too complex, just chant in front of them and see what happens, because they are going to reciprocate, so that's really what it is. And again, understanding our true identity, that we are not this body, we are the soul, and let not the mind tell us what to do, but rather we tell the mind what to do. So having that really that good control over our mind, and also remembering our eternal position and understanding our relationship with Krishna, I think those are really the important topics in this paragraph that we read. So with that, we can continue to